all the devotees' contributions. I hope some, rich devotees or even non-devotees contribute and make it a, beautiful temple soon. It's, they're going to shift in Balaram Jayanti, so Namashra Prabhu actually has invited us all to Mangalore. Prabhuji has asked us all to be there in Mangalore during the Balaram Jayanti, which is around August 19th. So if any of you are some Roma Mataji, where are you? Jalpa Mataji is in Hyderabad.
I am from Nepal, Mataji.
You are in Nepal. Prabhakar Prabhu, what about you? Where are you now? Hare Krishna. Yeah, from Nepal, it's quite far for you to come to Hyderabad, to Mangalore.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very far. Sometime maybe it will be nice. For me, it was so beautiful to see. Actually, I'm doing my course Bhakti Shastri with Aishwarya Mataji. So I got to see Aishwarya Mataji and all the Mangalarti which we only see online. I was able to see there. I was able to be present there, and just moving, dancing, and saying with the devotees was so nice. And Namita Prabhu told me, try your best to be in, we're always online. He said, try to be in real devotee association. Try to visit the temple in your area and go for, something or the other. Make sure you also have physical devotee association. So it's very important. Otherwise, staying in Krishna consciousness and following the different principles and really making it possible that we make this life our last one and we really go back to Godhead and we make the Krishna consciousness happen, practically is very important. We should do our best, whatever required. So let's start with chapter 10 today. Hare Krishna, thank you for joining me today. Jalpa Mataji, Roma Mataji, Prabhakar Prabhu. I hope some others also will join. And I hope Ravi Prabhu will come and post the attendance. So we are in chapter 10, and I think I'm able to mostly finish like maximum maybe. I sometimes take more than two classes, but if I take two classes for one chapter, it should take, there are from now onwards, there are 9 chapters. So there are like from 11 to 18, 8 chapters, and today's 10th chapter. There are 9 chapters. So in 18 classes, it should be over. So 18 means 9 weeks. So roughly another 2 months it's going to take. So now we are at the end of March. So April and May. So by the end of May, I think we'll be able to finish level 2, and all of you can move on to level 3 soon. Level 3, you will also learn the very beautiful book Nectar of Devotion, which I am right now preparing for an exam. A very beautiful book, Nectar of Devotion. Can you see it? I don't know. You can see it. The Nectar of Devotion is very beautiful book, Nectar of Instruction, and you will also learn Ishopanishad, and you will revise the whole Bhagavad Gita in a lot more detail and give a lot of tests. And if you're chanting 16, you can straight away go and do your Bhakti Shastri course, which is also very, very nice. So make sure you stay in touch, because after all, this human life is so rare. We are going on being told that by our scriptures in the Gita, and we need to make sure that we make it purposeful. Otherwise, we don't even know which birth we will take in the next, right? And just all the time being happy in the now, and of course, we should be happy in the now and be in the present when we are chanting and all that, but just thinking that this is it and living such a shallow life doesn't make sense, especially now that we know so much after reading the Bhagavad Gita and listening from devotees what it is all about, what this life is all about, and how these karma vikarma should not be done. We should do akarma, and how we should be in devotee association, and we should try to make this our last birth, or we should at least try to ensure that we get a human birth, which is possible through chanting and through devotional service, and how Krishna is the aim of our life, and the ultimate goal is to get bhakti and love for the supreme personality of Godhead. So these things we should be always mindful of and make sure that we make our life fruitful. And these classes which have come to us are not by coincidence. Somehow we have done enough of pious activities, grateful that we have done them, And otherwise, it's pure mercy of Krishna that we are able to attend these classes and speak about the Gita and understand these deeper philosophical concepts and understand the purpose of our life and all that. So let me quickly try and cover at least half of chapter 10 today, so that we finish in, on time. By May end, I hope we can finish by the last week of May. So Bhagavad Gita chapter 10 is again, coming in the Bhakti section, which has already started from chapter 7, 8, 9, and this is the fourth chapter of the Bhakti section. So by now in chapter 7 and 9, Krishna has explained about his energies in great detail and how amazing it is. He has explained about, how it is so majestic and, different features of it. And in chapter 8, he has even explained about the moment of death. The whole chapter 8 is related to death, and explained how we need to remember Krishna at the moment of death if we want to go back to Krishna. Otherwise, whatever we think of at the moment of death, we will attain that. And therefore, we need to constantly chant and, Manmana Bhava Mad Bhakto. We should always, Krishna says, remember me all the time. And then it is only through devotional service that we can get the blessings of being able to remember Krishna all the time. So let's look at this chapter 10, which will really help us make a big leap if we understand this chapter, because it will help us to remember Krishna by remembering his opulences. So chapter 10 and 11 are basically chapters which help us see how majestic Krishna is, how opulent he is, how grand he is, and how powerful he is, how he has all the bhagas. That's why he is Bhagavan. And Krishna describes it in such a way that, every time we look anywhere around, we'll be able to remember him. So that is the help, the benefit of learning these chapters. Chapter 10 is a theory, and chapter 11 is a practical of chapter 10. So we will see both of these chapters. Before continuing with this class today, I would like to pay my humble obeisances to the beautiful Radha Radha Govinda deities, Sri Radha Govinda temple deities. And I would also like to thank Namnishta Prabhu, the president of the temple, for giving us this opportunity. His Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami, and of course all of our Guru, Founder Acharya, His Divine Grace AC Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. I would also like to remember humbly and pay my obeisances to Aishwarya Mataji, due to whose grace I am getting this opportunity. नम ओम विष्णु पादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिन इति नामने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारणे ओम अज्ञान तिमिरांधस्य ज्ञानांजन शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपं कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवं च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादन सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितं च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे. So once more welcoming all of you, Jalpa Mataji, Roma Mataji and Prabhakar Prabhu. Ravi Prabhu is also joined and posted the attendance link. So I request all of you to kindly share mark your attendance. So chapter 9, which we had done the week before last, was dealing with the sections, firstly beginning with hearing about Krishna. And what are the qualifications and disqualifications for getting ready to hear about him? So we should be non-envious, we should be a friend, we should be a devotee. All these qualifications were discussed. And then in 9.4 to 10, we understood about Aishwarya Jnana, the Aishwarya of the Lord. How the Lord is Achintya Bheda Bhed, and the relationship that he has with the material world. We understood that by looking at a lot of pieces of notes from Srila Prabhupada's lectures. And we also looked how the difference between the non-worshippers and worshippers, how we have the demigod worshippers and the impersonalists who will never accept Krishna. Krishna is the supreme object of worship, and finally, the glories of directly worshipping Krishna in the last few verses. So now chapter 10 is basically made up of 3 sections. Each section will have some subdivisions. The first section is going to talk about Krishna's position as the origin of everything. So like I told you, this entire chapter is just going to help us to remember Krishna in so many different ways. Krishna helps us to understand that how we can remember him as a Lord. And 10.8 to 10.11 are very, very important. And therefore, the Chatush Shloka, or the 4 verses which are like the summary of the entire Gita. And 10.12 to 42 is about Krishna's acceptance and his request to hear more about him. And finally, in chapter 11, you will find how he requests, I've heard so much about you. Now, can you show me something? And then Krishna actually shows his Vishwarupa to Arjuna in the chapter 11, which we are going to enjoy soon. So once more, looking at the synopsis of chapter 10, Lord Krishna at the end of the 9th chapter, he advises Arjuna to fix his mind on Krishna. He says, Manmana, which again gets repeated in chapter 18, except for a few words which are different. So he says, Manmana bhavamad bhakto, think of me all the time. And he says, and he describes his opulences on which a devotee can fix his mind and how to so now that was in chapter 9. So in chapter 10 now he will describe his opulences, which helps us to fix our mind and helps us the different ways to remember Krishna. So when we see the opulent or the powerful or the beautiful things in the creation, we know that the opulence and the power and the beauty comes from Krishna. And that helps us not to feel envious also. Like normally before Krishna consciousness, when we see somebody who is very beautiful or very powerful or very intelligent, we're like, I wish I was like that. But after Krishna consciousness, we're like, Krishna has given me, qualities which I have to do. You serve Krishna, and and those power and opulence and beauty, whatever I see around him, is actually Krishna only. It's all Krishna's gifts. So then, that helps us not to feel envious or jealous anymore. And the conclusion of chapter 9 is that one should become a pure devotee of the Lord by focusing his mind. And now in chapter 10, Krishna will focus on description of his opulences, like I already have been telling you, by hearing which, our devotion increases. So chapter 10 and 11 helps us to increase our bhakti. And chapter 12 is so beautiful. I especially like the Priyashtakas, which comes at the end of chapter 12, where Krishna will explain, what kind of a devotee is dear to Krishna. So these last three chapters, or the second half of the Bhakti section of the Bhagavad Gita, are very, very precious for a devotee. Chapter 11 was a special favorite of Prabhupada, and he knew it very fluently, and he used to frequently be reciting chapter 11, where Krishna shows his Vishwarupa. So, chapter 10.1 to 7 is Krishna's position as the origin of everything. And chapter 8 to 11 is Chatushloki. And then at the end, we will have all Arjuna's acceptance and the request to describe his opulences. So, this is the summary of the first section. In the first section, in the beginning, when Krishna will talk about his position as the origin of everything, the first 3 verses, anyone knowing Krishna as the unborn. So this is very, very important. So many people, you will find many scriptures, many descriptions or literatures in the Bhagavad Gita, where people have misinterpreted the Bhagavad Gita and they consider Krishna to be an ordinary person. But Krishna explains so clearly that he is the unborn supreme Lord, and that doesn't mean that he is formless and then he has taken a form. He actually has originally a form. He is a person originally. So that is the main confusion between the personalist and the impersonalist. And Krishna is the source of all the sages and demigods, and he is undiluted and he is free from sin. So this we come to know from the verses 1 to 3. Then in verses 4 to 6, all qualities and attitudes. So we come to know that even negative qualities or positive qualities, everything therefore comes from Krishna only, because everything is created by Krishna. And freedom from illusion, self-control, infamy, all the different attitudes come from Krishna. Even the progenitors of the universe are born from Krishna's mind. So those who know Krishna's glories, and then in the 10.7, Krishna will say that those who know Krishna's glories, they will automatically, now once we start knowing his glories, it will become easier for us to continuously pay obeisances and to be engaged in Krishna's service. So let's look at these 10.1 to 10.7. In 10.1, Krishna says, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. So you can see in chapter 10 also, it doesn't begin with a question. It'll begin with Krishna continuing to explain so beautifully. And then in the middle, you will find Arjuna accepting and requesting to hear more about Krishna's glories. Because when you fall in love with someone, you want to go on listening about him. Similarly, Arjuna, he's so enamored by Krishna. He wants to listen more and more. So it's not enough. I want to hear more. I want to hear more about you. So we can see in 10.1, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, Bhuya eva mahabaho, Shrunu me paramam vachaha, Yatte ham priyamanaya, Vakshami hita kamyaya. The Supreme Lord said the Bhuya word is very important, means again. So you can see it's highlighted. Again, he says, my dear friend, oh my dear Arjuna, listen again to my supreme word, which I shall impart to you for your benefit, which will give you great joy. So every word in this 10.1 is very, very important for us to understand how a teacher, starts imparting everything, he knows to a student who is fully ready to listen, who is fully surrendered. So unless you're fully surrendered, how he says, I'm going to impart to you. I'm going to impart to you something which is great benefit and also very joyful for you. So that is what we're going to see. And I have taken for many of the verses up to 10.1 to 10.8, in fact, from lectures, which will help us to take that a deeper understanding. So this was Bhagavad Gita 10.1 to 3, which Srila Prabhupada had given a lecture about in Calcutta on March 6th. He begins by describing the word Bhuya. So as you can see, Bhuya eva mahabahu. So why Bhuya? So Bhuya is again repeated. So here Srila Prabhupada is telling us when he is explaining that Krishna consciousness is actually easy. At the same time, it's difficult. Why? Because if we simply understand Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Raja, which was given in 18.66, if we understand this much and we easily accept it, then Krishna consciousness is very easy. So God, Krishna is great. I am a fractional portion, a minute portion of God. What is my duty? To remain surrendered unto him, and that is my nature. When I understand that this is my nature, it gives me great joy to just be what is my nature, be myself, rather than trying to lord it over. So then it's very easy. But the problem is because we have made the whole matter very difficult. We try to think of God in different ways. People will say, actually, I am God. Everybody is God. Or they say, God is dead. Or they say, why are you searching for God? God is loitering in the street. So many gods all over every corner. There's a temple. Why are you going to a temple? So many. Means it's a business of asuras. This kind of continuous chitter chatter, we are all like asuras all the time trying to use our mental speculation, trying to get away from God. It's like Kamsa's business, Ravana's business, Hiranyakashipu's business, demons' business to drive away God consciousness. They don't want to accept God. So those who don't want to accept God are basically having an asura sort of mentality. Therefore, because this material world is full of such people, you'll find most people who are totally unable to accept the simple truth that Krishna says, Sarva Dharmam Pratija Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Simple it is. But then most people, almost all of us in this material world is more or less like that. We're like the demons. Because just like in a prison house, there may be some first class prisoners, second class prisoners, third class prisoners, but all of them are basically criminals. But we are all, because just by dint of us being here in the material world, it's clear that we have violated some laws of the spiritual world. That's why we are not being free spirits. So that is all of our positions. Similarly, vice versa is also true. If you're in the material world, he is a criminal. That's what I just said. Criminal disrespect that he has defied the authority supremacy of the God, and the degree may be different. Some are in Sattvagun, some are in Rajogun, some are in Tamogun, some are happy. But basically, all are are in bonds. We are all in chains. That is explanation given by one of the Vaishnav Kavi in Prema Vivarta. He says, कृष्ण भूलिया जीव भोगा वांछे करे पासते माया तारे जपटिया धारे. It means that this material contact is due to a forgetfulness of Krishna. The whole reason is Krishna bhuliya. Bhuliya means forget. Jiva bhoga vancha kare. And then that Krishna is the only enjoyer. We've forgotten that. Krishna is the predominator. Krishna is the supreme. Krishna is the proprietor. All these basic, simple truths, absolute truths, we have forgotten. Why should Krishna be the proprietor? I shall be the proprietor. Why Krishna should be the enjoyer? Like Hiranyakashipu's mentor. Why there should be a God? I want to be the God. It's as if it's a position, like we have a kingdom and then we have a king and a son or somebody, relatives or some friends. They say, why should he be the king? He's not good. I can be a better king. And then you want to kill that king and person takes over. So, why should Krishna be? I want to take that position. But they are so stupid not to understand that Krishna is like the absolute. And you can never take his position. But still people want to be the people, they want to be replace the Lord. Or they want to say, I will actually be God. But this mentality, in fact, has put us in the material world. So the Maya has captured us. Why? Because we have defied the supremacy of Krishna, which is just absolute truth. So all of us, more or less, therefore Krishna says in the 10th chapter, Bhuya Eva. That's why he's saying Bhuya Eva. Why again and again he's repeating Mahabahu. Arjuna is actually a great soldier, Mahabahu. That's why he's saying Mahabahu. But Arjuna's Bahu is different. He can fight thousands of men alone. We can't even fight one person over there in the battlefield. Although we have got this Bahu. Therefore, he's called Mahabahu. Srila Prabhupada just explaining every word here. Another meaning is that unless one is very strong in determination, strong will, Mahabhav, he cannot make advancement. He must be a hero. That's why he's saying, again, I'm telling you, listen. Krishna wants Arjuna to listen again. And he says, Mahabahu, he must be able to fight. Why should he be so strong? Because he needs to fight the laws of material nature. The moment you take to Krishna consciousness, there will be so many. Maya is going to think, oh, now this person is going to escape from my chains, because he is taking to Krishna consciousness. So she will put more and more traps just to check if you really are, worthy of being free from her chains. Just like in our society, there are 4 prohibited principles. No illicit sex. It's not to be done. Intoxication is not good for us. Meat eating is being not compassionate, cruel to animals. Gambling is incorrect. So especially the modern age, very difficult to give up unless you become a Mahabahu. That's why Krishna is using the word Mahabahu to tell us you need to be strong. They cannot even give up drinking tea. So Srila Prabhupada is talking about how much strength is required to give up tea. People come respectable gentlemen. They want to be initiated and they go to Srila Prabhupada and say, what are the principles you have to follow? The moment Srila Prabhupada will start saying all these 4 regulative principles, no tea, no coffee, no onion, no garlic, they go away. Because it's difficult. It's not easy. You need to be a Mahabhav. You need to be strong to be able to do the things required to go back to Krishna. Therefore, Krishna says that Bhuya Eva Maha Shrunu Me. He says Shrunu Me Paramam Vacha in 10.1. Everything that Krishna says, that is Paramam Vacha. Paramam is supreme truth. Krishna cannot commit any mistake. The difference between Krishna and us is that whatever we do, there are deficiencies. We have the tendency to commit mistakes. Number 2, we are disillusioned. Number 3, our senses are imperfect. And number 4, we have the strong tendency to cheat. But Krishna has none of this. Therefore, whatever Krishna says, that is supreme, that is transcendental, and still because we are conditional, Krishna is speaking to Arjuna in so many ways. Again, listen to me, he's saying. That is a duty because Krishna has been accepted by Arjuna as a spiritual master, and therefore as a teacher he is doing his duty. Shishyahteham shadhimam prapannam. In 2.7, Arjuna says, I am your student. Therefore, Krishna is, repeatedly saying, and this way, that way, negative way, positive way, so that his student Arjuna is convinced about the supreme truth. Bhuya. Again, I'm telling you. So, in the Bhagavad Gita, basically, what is he saying again and again? Surrender to me. But Krishna is saying Bhuya, but still we will not surrender. So, Krishna is saying in so many words. Otherwise, if we accept it, there is perfect knowledge. Now let's look at 11.18.4 from Srimad Bhagavatam. It is explained that a person who is engaged in sense gratification, he must perform severe performances at the end of life to counteract all his hedonistic, which means material pleasure seeking, sinful activities. So a devotee of the Lord naturally develops Krishna consciousness and doesn't have to do penances. So there's a very beautiful verse in Pancharatra which goes to the Brahma Samhita tune, which is आराधितो यदि हरिस्तपसा ततः किम् न आराधितो यदि हरिस्तपसा ततः किम् अन्तर्बहिर्यदि हरिस्तपसा ततः किम् नान्तर्बहिर्यदि हरिस्तपसा ततः किम्. So if one is worshipping the Lord properly, आराधितो यदि हरिस ततः किम्, what is it? Tapasa tatakim. What is the use for such a person who is already, fully understood and surrendered? There's no need to do severe penances because he's already understood the whole final result of tapas. He already got it. Na aradito yadi haris. If one is not properly worshipping the Lord, tapasa tatakim. For him, his penances are useless because he's not even worshipping properly. He doesn't have the proper knowledge. He doesn't have the proper sincerity or devotion or understanding. There's no use of doing this kind of useless tapa. If Sri Krishna is realized within and without everything that exists, so antar bahir yadi haris, you know that Krishna is within me, he is without me. Narsimha Dev's Aarti also we sing, right? Bahir Nrsimha, Hridaye Nrsimha, outside, inside, everywhere you know that Krishna, Hari, or Nrsimha is there. Once you know that, there is no need to do tapasya, there's no need because you realize the highest truth. So that's what he's saying, that if you have, where is it? Yeah, if you have, you realize that Krishna is within and without everything, severe penances are not needed for such a person because he's already got the result of those penances. And on the other hand, if Shri Krishna is not seen, you're not able to see Krishna within, without at all. Na antir bahir yadi haris. Even that tapasya is no use for such a person also. Because he's already got the result of all tapasya. Yeah, no more tapasya. If you have developed your love for Krishna in loving attitude, you're engaged in transcendental service, then all your tapasya is finished. You have got the result. So human life actually is meant for tapasya. Tapo divyam is said in Srimad Bhagavatam 5.5.1. It's not, a human life is not to simply enjoy and eat, sleep. How many people, they'll be the pragmatic people, they'll be like, what is the point of studying all this? What is the point of going through austerities? But human life is actually, the scriptures are explaining to us, is not to waste like cats and dogs, eating, sleeping, in sexual intercourse and defending. This is what cats, dogs and hogs will do. The human business is tapasya. That is Vedic civilization. Tapo divyam tapasya. Not like Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu also did severe penances and austerities. But what was his aim? His aim was not to surrender to Krishna. His aim was, I shall be powerful and I shall live forever. I shall act more and more like a demon without any check. So his tapasya had a very, very wrong purpose. So there's no use for such a tapasya. Everyone is doing like that. Actually, in the material world today, most people, they're doing ugra tapasya. They're working very hard. Why are they working very hard? Oh, I want so much money. I want this much bank balance. I want to start this business in this world. My business has to be so big. I want to be a minister. I want to be a president. I want everyone to offer me respect. So Labha Puja Pratishtha. They want money, they want respect, they want adoration, they want fame. So these are the three things which people usually want. And then they feel so puffed up that they, of course, once they're so puffed up with all their beauty, fame, and opulences and everything, that they cannot submit to Krishna. So Krishna is bhuya, bhuya, again and again he is saying, bhuya eva mahabahu shrinu me paramam vacha. Listen to me. The business of the guru to instruct. The guru will just keep on repeating and explaining even though nothing is entering our head. Yatteham priyamanaya vakshyami hita kamaya. You are my very dear friend, priyamanaya. And then you have to, so then the student, to be able to have a teacher who will come and tell you again and again, you have to be a student who is submitted. You have to be a student who is priya. You should be dear to your teacher. How should you be? In Bhagavad Gita 4.4, tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. You have to do seva, you should ask questions politely, right? Very humbly you should submit and be service to the spiritual master and please him. Then when you have done that, very humble and submissive and complete surrender, then the teacher will start coming to explain so nicely and repeatedly till you really get it, because he wants to give you what you really sincerely asking for, and the teacher will become a well-wisher. Yatteham priyamanaya vakshyami hita kamaya. I am your well-wisher. But today, Srila Prabhupada talks about teachers are usually how today's world teachers are disrespected. How can a teacher who is disrespected be a well-wisher? So he's saying it's not just that the teachers are not well-wishers, it's because the students are not respecting, not submitting to the teacher. There are so many videos going around, so many showing how disrespectful even parents are to the teachers. Srila Prabhupada is saying that once he went to a university for a lecture, one of the teachers said, I was bombed in this room a few months ago. The student threw the bomb. And so how does a teacher, after this kind of treatment from the students and the parents and society, how can he be a well-wisher? So it's an injunction of Shastras, that a physician, doctors, the teachers, they have to be very much respected. According to Vedic system, if a physician comes to a patient, the patient should accept the physician as if he's a father, so that he will be compassionate and he administer the best medicine. Similarly, the teacher should be respected, so that the teacher will be so compassionate and want to give you the best. Hita kamyaya. He will give you the best instruction. So Arjuna has already proved that he is a very submissive student. Shishyashtiham shadimam tvam prapanna. So he says that, I am surrenderu Krishna. So that is why Krishna is saying Hita Kamlaya. Now for your welfare, let me tell you. So I've given a long introduction from Srila Prabhupada's notes, which explains about every word very beautifully. So now Krishna is asking you to listen carefully. He's going to reveal more important knowledge in chapter 7, as I told you already, as I've already discussed at the beginning of the class. He describes his energies, how his energies are acting. Chapter 9 is also related to chapter 7. He describes the energies and he established devotion and firm conviction. And chapter 10 now is going to give us confidential knowledge about his opulences and the work of Krishna. And what is needed? Shrinu, listen again, listen carefully. Eagerness to hear. What is the qualification to understand the opulence of the Lord? Eagerness to hear. That is only the qualification needed at this point. Discourses in the society of devotees can take place only among those who are really anxious to be in Krishna consciousness. Just like Arjuna's conscious qualification. Krishna says, you are very dear to me. So we have to become very dear to Krishna. We should really want to hear. And we should be very eager to know about Krishna. Then we are ready for this chapter. So 10.2 says, नामे विदुः सुरगणाः प्रभवः न महर्षयः अहम् आदिर्हि देवानां महर्षीणां च सर्वशः यो मामजमनादिं च वेत्ति लोकमहेश्वरम् असम्मूढः समर्थेषु सर्वपापैः pramuchyate. So 10.2 and 10.3, what is Krishna saying? Krishna says, neither the hosts of demigods nor the great sages can know my origin. Why? Because I am the source of them also. So, suppose our father, we may hear, how much do we know about our father? Only as much as he tells us, because we have come from our parents. So what happened before, whatever they tell us, whatever people tell us, we know from that. But we can never know everything. Similarly, Krishna is the origin of even all the demigods and all the sages. So they also never can know everything or his origin. They don't know. That's what Krishna is specifying, how he is the origin, like how we mentioned, this whole section is about that. And 10.3, Krishna is saying that he who knows me simply knows me as unborn. There is, he is Aja, Aja. He is beginningless, the supreme Lord of all the worlds. He is the Lord. And such a person who knows this supreme truth, undiluted, he will be undiluted, not confused, and he will be free from sins. We just need to know that much. So let's look at again some of the lines from a lecture. So what is Krishna? He's again saying, he says, Devanam. One may think Krishna is born some 5,000 years ago. Some people think that Krishna is born 5,000 years ago. But is that true? Krishna is Ajanma, Aja. He is not born. There may be question that Krishna is born, so there was no Krishna worship before that. Because they do not know what is Krishna. Actually, Krishna has always been worshipped, always, from the beginning of creation. Just like Brahma is the beginning of creation of this particular universe. Krishna is the origin of all the universes of all time. So he is always worshipped. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutas Tunvanti Divya Saver. This comes in Srimad Bhagavatam 12.13.1. Yam Brahma. Whom is Brahma worshipping? Krishna. Whom is Varunendra, the lord of water, and the Indra? Whom is he worshipping? All the demigods, in fact, they're all worshipping Krishna. So Krishna is Adi. It's not like Krishna was born and then only after that he's worshipped. He's always been worshipped. That's why Krishna is saying that, those who know me as Aja, it's not like I've just been born now. Like Aham Adirhi Devana. The Brahma is the first Deva of this universe. Lord Shiva comes from Brahma. Then all the Devas. Vishnu, of course, before Brahma. Vishnu is in the material world. This is, the Vishnu which has come as an expansion from Krishna. Vishnu is also considered as one of the Devas. Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, Adi Deva, Adi Deva. That Vishnu is also caused by Krishna. That I have explained several times. So we do use interchangeably Krishna and Vishnu. Both are similar. Both are actually used interchangeably. But when we talk about Krishna as an expansion, Vishnu as an expansion of Krishna, in terms of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva as expansions, then Krishna is the origin of Vishnu also. From Krishna, the first expansion, Eko Bahushyama. Krishna is expanded in many forms. Vishnu Tattva, Jiva Tattva. All of us Jiva Tattvas, we are also Krishna's expansions. Vishnu Tattva is also Krishna's expansion. The demigods are also Krishna's expansions. Everyone. Eko Bahushyama. He has become one. The Supreme One. The One Lord. Has my screen sharing been paused? I wonder why. Hare Krishna, are you able to see the screen?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Thank you. The Supreme One has expanded himself in so many ways. Vishnu Tattva, Jiva Tattva, Shakti Tattva. So Krishna he's clearly saying that I am the origin of all of it. Aham Adirhi Devanam. In 10.2 he's saying I am the Adi of the Devas also. Because we take the Deva, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. Krishna's first expansion is Swayam Prakasha, Baladeva Tattva. So initially the first expansion is the Baladeva Tattva, Swayam Prakasha. From Baladeva Tattva, the quadruple Tattvas. Okay, namely Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. Then again from Sankarshana, there is a Narayana. Then So again there's a Narayana, and then from Narayana, the second quadruple expansion, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha, the three Vishnus, that is Karnodakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. So Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, from Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is Brahma, Vishnu also, Shirodakshaya Vishnu, and from Brahma is Lord Shiva. In this way, other devatas, Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Sun, Moon. There are millions of demigods, millions of human beings, and so many millions of lower than the human beings. Devatarya Naradishu. Deva means demigods. Tiryan means the lower than human beings, animals, birds, beasts, and human beings. Naradishu. So the expansion is very much, origin of all expansion is Krishna. That is what in 10.2 we need to understand, that The origin, when we say origin, we need to understand origin of everything. Aham adarhi devanam name vidu suragana. Suragana means devatas. Name vidu suragana prabhavam na maharshaya. Great sages, Maharsha Maricha, there are 7 great sages, Marichi, Vashishtha, Treya. 7 stars we see in the northern pole, they are the planets of these great 7 rishis. So they are all there. And so even these great sages, they do not know, even they are such great sages, they also don't know the actual position of Krishna. Krishna himself does not know what is his actual position because he's constantly expanding. That is why Krishna, to understand himself, he comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as a devotee of Krishna, to understand Krishna. Because he wants to know how Radharani, who is his own expansion, is experiencing so much bliss when she is thinking of Krishna. So he takes the attitude of Radharani when combined together, and then he comes as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. 500 years ago, almost like a contemporary. So Radha Krishna Nahi Anya, they are not actually separate. Shri Krishna Chaitanya from Chaitanya Bhagavata, this is given. The Supreme Lord has expanded himself in so many ways. Yeah, I think I didn't change the slide. So Shri Krishna Chaitanya, the Goswamis, they have studied Krishna Chaitanya very well. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikritir Hladri Shaktir Asmad Ekat Manav Api Deha Bhedam Gatautau. Krishna is one, but when Krishna wants to enjoy, he expands his pleasure potency, that is Radharani. So Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikrit. Krishna cannot enjoy material. The original spiritual potency, pleasure potency is Radharani. So first of all, he expanded. Then when he becomes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, again he is combined as one. This is the studies of the Goswamis have told us. They have the real knowledge. They get enlightened, and they have explained how Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikrit Lalini. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is given a seat along with Krishna. He is Krishna himself. He's coming, he's a combination of Radha and Krishna, although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never wants to be called Krishna. He never wants to be referred to as a Supreme Lord. But he is. So we may not misunderstand the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who he is. Many people imitate and they say, oh, this is also avatar, that is also avatar, everybody's avatar. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada explains to us, is approved by Shastra. In Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.32, it says, Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna. Same category, Krishna Varnam. Just like we say Varna, Brahmana Varna, Kshatriya Varna, Shudra Varna, like that, Krishna Varna. Means and also it also means that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is always describing Krishna. So he's always chanting Krishna, 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 Hey, Krishna, 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 Hey, Krishna, 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 Pahimam. So he is describing Krishna, hailing Krishna. So Krishna is describing himself. Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishna. But by his complexion, he is not black. He'll be very fair. This is given in the Srimad Bhagavatam itself. Only great saints can explain, like the Goswamis can explain it to us. So we'll find many descriptions of the same verses, but they will not be able to interpret and understand that Srimad Bhagavatam is actually telling us that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to be coming. Krishna Varnam Sa Krishnam Sangopangasra Parshadam. And he will be always along with his associates. Who are the associates? When we are saying our pranam mantra, when we are saying our mantra before the chanting, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, this is all about the different Goswamis who appear along with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is also Krishna. People misunderstand, but it requires knowledge from Krishna or from Krishna's representative to understand. So we have already seen in 7.3, Manushyanam Sahasreshu Kaschit Yatati Siddhaye. Yatatam api siddhanam kaschit veti mam tatvata. So Srila, if you would have heard the lecture of Namnishra Prabhu in the Chaitanya Gaur, in Gaur Purnima, if any of you have heard, he has explained very clearly, it's not necessary for everyone to understand that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna. Already in Bhagavad Gita for Krishna itself, it has been clearly said there are so many millions of people Only out of them one may be liberated. Yatatam api siddha. Siddhi. Siddhi means know oneself. At the present moment, we are all conditioned. We are thinking I am the body. Yasyatma buddhi kunape. Think of this body as self is like cats and dogs and animals. So it is like gokhara. We have seen this verse many times. So gokhara means like cows and ants. So every one of us, we are identifying with ourselves with our body. We are not siddhas. Siddhi is one who is completely free from the bodily concept of life. I request everyone to mark attendance if you haven't. I think there's just three of you. Please mark your attendance. So every one of us are identifying ourselves with our body. So in Bhagavad Gita 18.54, we will see Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Na Shochati Na Kamshati Sama Sarvesha Bhuteshu. So when you are convinced, the people are, they're not the body, they are spirit soul. And then they are actual Pandita. They are the people who have a real understanding of things. When they see that we are all part and parcel of Krishna, that is when bhakti will begin. So bhakti, Srila Prabhupada is telling us, is not just a sentiment. It is actually the highest knowledge. Bhakti is actually the highest, most intelligent people only will have it. It's the highest stage of understanding. Bhaktashrita grihitaya. In Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.12, it says, Bhaktya Shruta. Bhakti must be executed. Shruta grihitaya. By listening, by hearing. Shruta. How will you hear? From a disciplinic succession, you should be hearing. That is perfect bhakti. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. So even in 18.55, Krishna says, it's through bhakti that you will understand Krishna. Therefore, Krishna says, Name vidu suragana. Suragana is like the big demigods. They are also not in the pure bhakti. They have got bhakti, but it is Mishra bhakti. Actually, Srila Prabhupada explains to us that even Brahma and Vishnu and Shiva, even they are not having the pure bhakti. They are also the material world. They have got desire to enjoy. They are called devatas. Like Brahma, what to speak of others, even Brahma has a desire to lord it over. So he is given that position, though he is a great devotee. He is a bhakta, but not pure. He is not anya bhilashita shunyam. That is no material desire, as given in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela 19.167. Anya bhilashita shunyam comes from the book Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So just like Bhakti Vinod Thakur says, Brahma janme nahi mora asha. What does Bhakti Vinod Thakur says? I am not even interested to become born as a Lord Brahma, because Bhakti is also not yet pure. Brahma is a bhakta, undoubtedly. We should not be speaking like that. Unless he's a very high class bhakta, he cannot be offered such an exalted position. Brahma is like the creator of the whole of one particular universe. Just like in government service, unless one is very confidential, he cannot have that highly top confidential post. Similarly, all the devatas. But this is a great revelation by Srila Prabhupada. They are all Karma Mishra, Jnana Mishra Bhakta. They are not pure Bhaktas. Anya Vilashita Shunyam, zero desires. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so benevolent as Krishna. He is coming as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna is coming and he teaches us Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadisha kamaye. In Shikshashtaka 4, I don't want money. I don't want followers. I don't want a beautiful wife, or I don't want to be a beautiful wife, or I don't want a whatever handsome husband, whatever. I don't want any of these. So then, what do I want? Mama janmani janmanishware bhavatat bhakti ahaituki tvai ahaituki. No cost. I don't want a reason for having that love for you. I don't. It's not like I love you, so you give me this. And how do I want it? Birth after birth. I'm not seeking liberation. Bhavatat bhakti. So without any reason. So it's like so pure. This bhakti which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us is so pure. It's like no desire. Even I don't want to be like a Brahma or Shiva. I want to be only of service to you. So this is actually very, very highly confidential knowledge. And Srila Prabhupada gives it to us so easily. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes, and he is the person who has been giving us a Sankirtan Yajna and how we can get Krishna just by chanting. Such an easy method, he gives it to us. So unless we cannot come to that position, pure devotional life, we cannot understand Krishna. It's not possible. Therefore, Krishna says, Name Vidu Suragana Prabhava, because they don't know. They think, like Brahma, we know the story of Brahma, how he was bewildered and Lord Krishna was playing. Everywhere it is advertised, Krishna has come in the world, he's a Vrindavan, he's a cowherd. But Brahma, he is very doubtful. He says, how come this Krishna is playing like a cowherd? Let me test if he's really God. And he took away all the cowherd boys, calves, everything by his power. He's so powerful. And Krishna, he is the Lord. He just expanded himself into all those cows, cowherd boys, calves, everything. And then, Brahma comes to understand this is, yes, this is Krishna. So, Muhyanti yat sura, even the gods get bewildered, even they cannot understand Krishna. Great demigods, they become bewildered. Therefore, it's not easy to understand Krishna. If we acquire somehow or the other little mercy, then we can probably understand. Only by Krishna's mercy we can understand the Krishna Tattva. To understand Krishna in Tattva, you have to become very submissive. You must render service to Krishna. You should think of him all the time under the direction of Krishna. Bhaktya mam abhijanan. Only through bhakti you can know me. Yavan yaschasmi tatvatah. You will know me only when you through bhakti. And those who are mudhas, those who think of Krishna as maybe just another ordinary boy who gained some power, or the whole universe is the energy, and then just Krishna came, out of that energy. So avajananti ma mudha. Those who don't know me as Krishna, the supreme personality, just like Krishna is attacked by atheists, as an ordinary human being. Krishna is not just a normal yogi or something. Krishna says, Name vidu suragana prabhavam. Krishna is prabhava. His influence also is not known. He's so influential, he can do anything. But they don't know. Aham adarhi devana marshinam sarvashat. In 10.2, we are still in 10.2. And the origin of everything, this we should understand. He becomes origin of everything if you accept Krishna as this statement that Krishna is origin. If you don't accept, then you do analytical study. How is he origin and all that. So that is then Krishna consciousness becomes difficult. So one must be fixed in understanding of Krishna. First, that he is the origin of everything. Now, 10.3, Yomam Ajam Anadim Cha. If you're fully convinced that Krishna is Ajam, unborn, in the 4th chapter already Krishna says, if you understand simply that Krishna takes his birth, this one item, that Krishna is Aja, and he just appears. Janma karme chame divyam yo janati tattvataha. If you know that tattva, that the truth, that my birth and all my deeds are transcendental, they're not ordinary. Simply this one thing, if you can understand, that Krishna takes, he just appears. Why does he come to work with us? Just like Krishna came and worked with Arjuna in the battlefield as charioteer of Arjuna. Only these things, if we understand, we can have bhakti. Then we can become liberated from the cycle of birth and death. If you understand these two things, that is his janma and his karma. Tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sorjuna. Then when you leave your deham, you will not have a punarjanma. So clearly Krishna is telling us everything. What we should do is telling us. Liberation begins as soon as you begin your devotional service. Immediately your liberation has started. 18.66, let's again say, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Raja Ham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayashyami Ma Shachaha. Immediately Mokshayashyami, you are liberated. Bondage means so long as a reaction of karma. What is bondage? Reaction of karma. He says, I'm going to free you from all your sinful reactions only. There will be no more sinful reactions, so then there is no more karma, there is no more bondage. Ma Shuchaha, why are you afraid? You just come to me. We are entangled for sinful reaction of life, but then if you're pious, there is no more birth. But pious here means to become a devotee, a pure devotee. Comparatively, he may be pious because there are degrees of piousness. Krishna says, Yesha Mantagatam Papam, one who is completely free from impious activities, because we need to understand very clearly papa and punya. Okay, so here Srila Prabhupada is really explaining nicely. He says that punya karma, papa karma, these both are there. So when you do some sacrifice, that may be punya, but then there will always be some associated papa. We have to understand that whenever there is some punya, there will be, cannot be pure punya all the time. So in ordinary way, sometimes a big man, he will accumulate a lot of money, he will do charity, he will open schools, he will have hospitals, he will have a but then what is the thing? Money coming from, so much of money from the black market. So it's papa. So this is the world. If you want to do pious activities, impious activities along with it, you will, end up doing. So unless you transcend both papa and punya, no more karma, no more vikarma. You cannot be free from bondage. So therefore, Narottama Dasa Thakur says, Karma Kanda Jnana Kanda Sakali Vishera Bandha. Vishera means poison. Karma Kanda means all the different pious activities according to the Vedas. You do all the different pious activities. Jnana Kanda means culturing a lot of knowledge. What is all of that? Both are pots of poison. Amrita Balya Yeba Khaya. If you take a pot of poison as nectarian, then what will be there? Nana Joni Brahman Kare Kadarya Bhakshana Kare. Tara Janma Adha Pate Yaya. So this is, so you should not take Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda. We have created Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda. Karma is for karmis, they're trying to enjoy the material world and different types of activities. So, and the Jnana Kanda, who are there? They, they use all their mental speculation. This world is false. Brahma, Satyam, Jagad Mithya. This is Jnana Kanda. So, Bhakti is above both. They have no desire. Anya, Bilashita, Shunyam, Jnana, Karma, Dhanavritam. This is coming in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, also in Nectar of Devotion. That is Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karma dhanavritam. Absolutely shunyam, devoid of all other desires, devoid of all dhyana and karma related, all these monastic philosophy related things, all fruitive activities, everything is no more there in pure bhakti. Here in this material world, karma kanda and jnana kanda are going on. Karmis are thinking they're very clever, they're enjoying their life. So according to their estimation, they think they are very intelligent. Jnanis are thinking, we have worked as karmis, but we have never derived any benefit, so the grapes are sour. I don't want to be a karmi. So let me become a sannyasi now. I become a Brahman. I am going to become one with God. So that is the false, again, that's also the other extreme. They have left all paltry enjoyment, and now they say, oh, now I'm going to be one with God. I am God. I am Supreme Narayana. And they say, that I am the Lakshmi Narayana. So what is there? Basically, a desire is to capture Lakshmi, the original Lakshmi. And outwardly, they are like sannyasi, giving up everything, mithya. But in the heart, they want to be God. They want to enjoy. So this is Phalgu Vairagya. So we will understand difference between Phalgu Vairagya and Yukta Vairagya. Bhalgu Vairagya is a false kind of renunciation where they think that they are giving up everything, but actually they are full of desires. They want to become God. So when Krishna says Sarva Dharman Parityaja, all these different karma kanda, jnana kanda, everything he's saying, forget it. Have only bhakti. Be in the bhakti kanda. Then you're engaging yourself in the pure, desireless service of the Lord, and that will give immense joy, be jubilant, because that is actually a real position, a real life. Jivera Swarupa Haya Nitya Krishna Dasa. What is our Jivera Swarupa? Actually, we are, Nitya Krishna Dasa is our natural position. People don't want to accept, they want to lord it over the material universe. They want to think I'm God. They don't want to think that I'm Krishna's Dasa. Which is actually a real constitutional position, which actually gives us a natural joy. So karma kanda, jnana kanda, sakala vishera bandha. These are all poison actually. So Krishna consciousness movement is to place everyone in bhakti. And actually it's very easy if you understand this simple concept. So Krishna is teaching in Bhagavad Gita how we can be in our original natural position of understanding ourselves as the eternal servant of God. When you understand this, your life has become successful. Again, in December 13, 1966, I think we'll be able to only do 10.1 to 3 today, but the latter part is actually very simple. So this initial introduction is important. So the beginning of Bhagavad Gita chapter 4, Krishna had said that the only qualification is that you should be bhaktosi priyosi me rahasyam etad uttam. I can give you the big secret because you are my devotee and you are my friend. So that very ancient science of relationship with the Supreme is today told because you're my devotee and my friend. So the mystery of Bhagavad Gita, which we are now studying, is very, very confidential. It's only possible to get it by if you're an unalloyed devotee, pure devotee. That's what so much of description in the beginning Srila Prabhupada is giving us in his lecture to understand what is pure. In the market, you have so many commentaries of Bhagavad Gita. Srila Prabhupada says that he's actually counted there are almost 645 commentaries of Bhagavad Gita. And Srila Prabhupada says that, one of the Bhagavad Gita he came across was written by Dr. Rayleigh, in which it is a talk between, he says that, the whole Bhagavad Gita is like a talk between a patient and a doctor. And he will, all the different slokas, he will twist the meanings and put it as if it's anatomy, physiology, and everything. So at the present moment, people think that it's okay. The modern view is that it's perfectly fine. You can interpret whatever way you want. But when it comes to scriptures, Srila Prabhupada says that we should understand the Bhagavad Gita according to parampara, from a bhakta, in the disciplinic succession. It's not that anyone can just interpret anything and say whatever they want. Then the whole, point is lost. This viewpoint, no bona fide student of Bhagavad Gita will accept. So for Bhagavad Gita and such scriptures, not like other literature where or any art where you just look at it or see it and you are free to choose any meaning, it's not like that. You need to understand from a pure devotee. There is a nice verse in Srimad Bhagavatam in this context which goes like this. Satam prasangan mama virya samvido bhavanti hritkarna rasayana katha tajjoshanada swa apavargavartmani shraddharatir bhaktiranukramishyati. So it association of pure devotees, satam, pure prasanga, pure devotees, you discuss pastimes and activities of Krishna. It's very pleasing and satisfying to the ear and the heart. Bhavanti hrit karna ears, rasayana katha, so nice. By cultivating such knowledge, only then you gradually become advanced on the path of liberation, become freed, and attraction becomes fixed. Real devotion and devotional service will then begin. So if one wants to understand spiritual science or science of Krishna, you have to associate, like I said in the beginning of the class, how Namishra Prabhu was advising me also. He was saying not only online, go to the ISKCON temple. I'm in Coimbatore. Go there sometime. It's important to associate with pure devotees. Satam Prasangat. And when discussions take place between pure devotees, then the potency of spiritual knowledge, as depicted in scriptures, they will become revealed. Simply sitting and become mental speculators discussing on Bhagavad Gita is useless as per the purport of Srila of this Srimad Bhagavatam. It stated Satam Prasangan Mama Virya Samvido Bhavanti Hrit Karna Rasaya. If it's discussed in association of pure devotees, then the scriptures will reveal the truth to us. In Vedic literature also it is stated, Yasya deve para bhaktir yatha deve tatha guru Tasyate kathita hyartha prakashante mahatmanah. Unto those great souls, prakashante mahatmanah, who have implicit faith, in Lord and spiritual master, yatha devi tatha guru, spiritual master and the God. To them, the Vedic knowledge gets automatically revealed. So I said that one has to have firm faith in God, and similarly, they should have the faith in the God's representative. That's a big problem. People don't have that. Yasya Deve Para Bhakti. They hear all the things which are nice to them. Something is not okay. Oh, like this I can't believe. That's not possible in spirituality. You have to have that faith. And he is my spiritual master. So all this import of Vedic language only then can be revealed to him. So I think today it's already 8. So shall we start with 10.4 tomorrow? I mean, not tomorrow, today is Friday. So next Thursday we will start. I hope that's fine. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpataru vyasha kripa sindhu evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So I think again we have put a whole long introduction for chapter 10 and we can hopefully finish it on Thursday. Maximum by Thursday, Friday we'll finish it. You want to have any comments or anything to share about the chapter 10 introduction that we have made today? Roma Mataji, Jalpa Mataji, Prabhakar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Pure devotee means we have to no material desire, Mataji, like.
Yes, Prabhuji. Anya Vilashita Shunya. Yeah, absolutely no material desire. And you have to have Yukta Vairagyam, which means that every material thing you have to think in such a way Nirbandha Krishna Bhakta. You have to convert everything to in association with Krishna. So every material thing that we are doing, convert it into your offering to Krishna. So then it becomes purified and you have absolutely no material desire at all. So then you don't even aspire for the Brahma's position also. You don't want to lord it over at all. You want to just be of service to Krishna. That is pure bhakti, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so I'll end today's class. See you next Thursday. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for your association.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.